Welcome, everybody. It's Frantic Romantic, your favorite LA band, here to talk about more music, more albums. We like to review albums. Why? Because we love music. We love making music. We love playing music. We love palling around, listening to music, and that's what we do. So this is our podcast. Let's get critical. And join with me, as always, is
Ruben.
Oh, Zeke Zero.
And I'm Mike, who some of you may know as Mr. Kerosene, but you can just call me Mike. Today, we are talking about a funny album, which I think in a slightly embarrassing way kind of explains a lot about me. It's almost like the textbook to my own personal psychosis, but this is by an artist that I really love, and we're going to find out if you guys love him too. He had a nice run in the first half of the 80s, first with his band and then with his solo career. So he had 3 albums with his band, 3 albums just by himself, and then this album, coming out in 1985, was sort of the beginning of the end, because when he put this out, it bombed hard. And it also, his label dropped him. And this was also the same year that he did his 1985 Live Aid concert, which this is some deep knowledge. So basically, the schedule was running over, and he only had time for 1 song, and his voice was shot. So he did 1 song with a shot voice. Oof. And he walked away from that humbled. Now, eventually, he'd make another album in 1990, and then he'd make another album in 1995, and then he'd make his last album in 2013. So he wasn't really able to bounce back into mainstream. Now, of course, we're talking about everybody's favorite musician, Adam Ant. Everybody loves Adam Ant. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. Now, Adam Ant came out of the London punk scene in the late 70s. Actually, a lot of very prevalent MTV generation 80s musicians came out of the London punk scene, but they kind of...
Like Idol, right?
Yep. Billy Idol's another one.
Right.
Susie from Susie and the Banshees.
Right.
But what happened by the 80s is a lot of these folks kind of diverged into different sounds, right? So there was like Public Image Ltd, and there was Big Audio Dynamite, and then there was this whole new romantic movement, the new romantic movement, and it was a bit frantic. And a part of that new romantic movement, which was really more about style than it was about rebellion. And that kind of moved into like goth, but also pop. But a part of that new romantic movement was Adam and the Ants and Susie and the Banshees. Those 2 were pretty good friends and kind of contemporaries of each other. So Adam Ant's biggest album was Kings of the Wild Frontier. And then by... there was Kings of the Wild Frontier, there was Prince Charming, and then he went solo and made Friend or Foe, and then he made Strip, which was produced by Phil Collins, and then he made the album that we're talking about today, Vive Le Rock.
Vive Le Rock.
1985's Vive Le Rock. So just some general thoughts. What do you guys think of this album?
I think there's a lot of, it's full of like this like playful nature when it comes to melodies and arrangements and a lot of the backing, which is for me something I really love to hear in music. I feel a lot of music isn't bold enough to do that nowadays. Be it because maybe it comes off as cheesy or whatever. I enjoy that. I enjoy when someone can have fun and expand music like that.
Yeah, man, it's pretty happy music. I couldn't be in a bad mood listening to this. It's definitely party music. Feels like it.
This was produced by Tony Visconti, which I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Tony Visconti was the producer of basically all of David Bowie's 70s albums. And actually, harking back to episode 1, when Tony was kind of ghosted by Bowie in '83, he branched off and started producing some other folks like Adam Ant.
Right.
And this album, I feel, has a lot of DNA from some of the more manic 70s Bowie era.
I could see
stuff.
that. I could see that. Now you say that, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mean to take over the conversation with this, but I've read Adam Ant's autobiography and I've read up on this album and all, so the biggest song off this album is Apollo 9. And with Apollo 9, it was released 1 year before, 12 months before the rest of this album came out. And it kind of, because of that, it didn't do anything for the album's sales. And that's kind of why the album bombed. Now, when the album did come out, they released the song Vive Le Rock, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit, but that definitely was not a hit.
Right.
So with that said, why don't we talk about the album?
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah,
Sure.
with starting with our bottom 3 and starting with Ruben.
Okay, for me, number 3 on my list, the bottom 3, not the worst, but I guess and I don't want to say worst, but I would start with the song No Zap. No Zap was...
How dare you? No.
I feel like it just kind of, it didn't have a lot of commercial appeal, when I hear that. And it's not like I don't think albums have to be full of a bunch of bangers that are just going to be on the radio.
Right.
But I definitely don't hear, I feel like that wasn't the thought process on No Zap at all,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I will say this album is in my top 5 favorite albums. So it's going to be hard for me to say anything bad about it.
Right.
But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, that was on my list too, but it's not in that order. Yeah. For me, it was Scorpion Rising. I think it was a shift in the. I'm sorry, Michael.
Huh?
I think it was a shift.
Can't believe you. My feelings are so hurt.
It's not a bad album too, man.
It's not.
I had to be crucial for this one to pick a bottom 3. But for this song in particular, I think this is where the album kind of took its shift. And it was a little drop in tone. Maybe because I wasn't maybe in the mood for it. Because I heard this album maybe like 3 times. But it feels like it was built, everything else was built around the Scorpion Rising line. So that's why I kind of felt like... maybe a little bit more. Maybe it was like a filler. And that's...
I know how you feel. And actually, to the point of saying that... well, actually, never mind.
He's like, that's on my top favorite.
So my third least favorite is Vive Le Rock. I feel like that was the one song on the album where he didn't go full tilt Adam Ant.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to people please and like make something that's a bit more accessible, which isn't a bad idea, but it was also like it felt very soft.
But it's like if you're gonna open the record,
yeah,
and you're not gonna be yourself fully, you know what I mean? That's tough.
Yeah.
I think that could definitely influence your choice on that, right?
But how did you know that wasn't for him? This probably wasn't your introduction to Adam Ant then, huh?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Which album was it? Or was it the stuff that when he was in with the other ants?
It was probably Kings of the Wild Frontier. And I feel like this album was actually kind of trying to recapture a lot of the same energy as that album, because that was like probably his biggest album. And with that said, I mean, I feel like the rest of the album kind of sits in that realm. But then this song is like him trying to be normal.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Yeah.
Is that the line where he says, "Look, ma, top of the world," right?
Yeah, and then you hear the explosion.
Yeah.
Top of the world.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think the next one I had after that. Wait, did you get into your? Yeah, you did. Right now. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Okay. So, the second one I have for me is the song Apollo 9. And for me, the only reason, and I know that was like the big one that like fronted it, but the mix just threw me off listening to it. I feel like it was just a little disconjointed a little bit. Like, and that's just me being a picky audiophile when it comes to that, you know?
Sure.
Like the voice is kind of lost in a lot of the ambience.
Yeah. That song is like completely unhinged, by the way. Like, holy crap.
I didn't even know that was a single to this album.
Yeah.
But 12
The lead-in single before it came out.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that, to be honest with you. I would have thought it would have been Vive Le Rock, but you said that was the second one.
Right. Yeah. No, Apollo 9 feels like it's like just completely like someone's having an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with like the song structure or anything. I just, the way it all sat in the mix, just that the fact that I would notice it, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, then something's up there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the video for it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you want to elaborate a little bit? That'd be cool. Yeah,
sure. Okay, so like he's like dressed like an astronaut and he's dancing around, right? And then there's a part where he's like doing a press conference and he has these big ass like aviator glasses and there's like 20 microphones around him and he's just like answering questions. And then like there's some dude that's clearly designed to be like a southern hick redneck.
Yeah,
that's just watching him on screen and like gradually getting more pissed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was great.
You know, for those who don't know, this artist was a big inspiration behind our rocket ship video, and we were coming up with that. I don't know, you know, just some little gems of information to throw out there, you know?
Yeah, rocket ship was very much Apollo 9 influence.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you pitched the picture, you know, and you're like, you know, it's a little glam and it's like the really, you know, reflective astronaut suits. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apollo 9. I wonder what the story is behind that title.
Apollo 9?
Apollo 9. Was it the missing Apollo mission? Perhaps.
I don't know.
We're going to have to Google that.
Like a lot of this album is very much British people making fun of American people. So it could be, I don't know the significance of Apollo 9. I like the countdown where he eventually skips a few numbers and goes straight to 9. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. What's your next pick there, Zeke?
For me, man, it's going to be No Zap. By the time I got around to this song, I was all zapped out. No, honestly, it was nothing really. I'm sorry, I feel bad like bashing on this album.
No, please do.
For this song, it wasn't really much different from the rest of the album. I like a little variety, sometimes a little surprise here and there. But it was kind of a little bit more of the same.
Right.
Not in a bad way. Yeah, like I said, you got to be it puts you in a happy mood, but I think you kind of have to be in that type of mood to listen to this album too. Yeah. But, yeah. This whole album made me feel like I was in a musical. I was all dancing around to
the Jersey Boys or something like that.
The Jersey Boys or Grease. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, and sorry, I'm just going to be throwing in these factoids probably the whole time. So the kind of angle that Adamant was going for with this album was, do you guys know what TEDs are? Or like Teddy Boys?
No, is it like a British term?
Yeah. So it's basically, and this was actually like really big in the punk scene. It was like counterpunk, where it was these folks that were really into 50s and 60s rock.
Yeah.
And they wore their hair a certain way and like
the pompadours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they like dressed up. They dressed up nice and stuff, right?
Right. And
Yeah,
there's a whole visual component, especially to this album, and Adam and the Ant, or Adam Ant and his band, all looking kind of like a version of that, but then also like a futuristic version of that. And then a lot of these songs are kind of a weird, like
interpretation of that would be that. Yeah, that's what they would create.
Put through a
filter of that,
Adam Ant
right?
filter. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool.
That's cool though. It's a really cool, like, that's a bigger concept, you know?
Yeah.
That's like super meta if you think about it, right? You're like creating a character and that character's creating the music or whatever almost, you know?
Right.
It's cool.
It's kind of like a David Bowie type of thing, right?
Yeah.
David Bowie-esque.
Yep. Well, and a lot of his albums, like Kings of the Wild Frontier, it was a lot about you know, the indigenous folks of the U.S. and a lot of songs with a lot of things to say about that. Now, granted, back in 1980, a white British dude dressing up in like indigenous garb is like not.
It's not cool, man.
No one would ever do that now.
Now,
right?
yeah. Different times, yeah.
Right, yeah. And then his next album was kind of leaning into like the dandies of you know, the 18th century Victorian era, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of played around with a lot of that stuff, and then he stopped. But anyways, so I think my second least favorite is a song called Hell's 8 Acres, because much like Scorpio Rising, they get into this pocket of the song that lasts for most of the song where they're just saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. And like, there's some like cool shit in the song. Like there's some really great guitar work throughout the entire album. This guy, Marco Peroni, who was Adam's guitarist, but that song, it gets into this like repeat of just saying Hell's 8 Acres. And it's like, okay, we get it.
We get you. Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool. Let's see. For me, I guess the top of my bottom or whatever would be the song Miss Thing.
Oh man.
And the only reason is because as I'm listening to it, like, close your eyes and imagine a John Cusack wearing a trench coat, right? He got the girl, and like the rich preppy kid is in a dumpster with his buddies, and their Corvette just gets smashed. You know, that's what I hear when I heard this song.
It does give you,
it gives you like credits in an '80s movie, you know, a quirky '80s movie.
John Cusack.
And it's like a good thing. It's almost like a guilty pleasure kind of vibe. That's what it gave me, you know.
it's that song.
I know we talked about that at rehearsal.
Dude, it breaks my heart that's like your least favorite song, but I get it.
And it's not even like it's like I don't like the song. It's like just because of that, I just couldn't get that visual out of my head.
What
man,
if it was titled Miss Thang? Would you get into it more, maybe? Maybe. No, I completely understand what you mean by that. It gives you like a 80s end credit or
end credits, exactly.
Kind of like a montage of what's going on in the crazy 80s.
Yeah, in the crazy quirky 80s. Yeah.
But come on, man. Walla balloon bop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, totally, exactly. I mean, honestly, a lot of those elements are on this song, and that's what I liked about this record a lot.
Yeah.
Is that it's like bold enough to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is pretty. It's a bold term.
Just random. That song, like, I was obsessed with that song for a little while.
Well, you know what's cool is I remember when we did the Victoria Trap, you were like really into this, like listening to a lot of this, right? This
right.
And Empire of the Sun, right? Where you were able to, or the band that came before Empire of the Sun, right?
Oh, Sleepy Jackson.
Sleepy Jack, yeah. So
I mean,
you brought a lot of that to the table, and I'd like to hear that in the future music we do, you know?
Sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably some connective tissue there between Luke Steele and Adam Ant. You know, they're both very showy.
Yeah. Right.
All right, Zeke, what about you?
Oh, man. Mohair Locker Room Pinup Boys. Has a really cool name to it. I really liked it. But not really much else. I'm not going to lie. It's more kind of the same. I wanted it to have potential because it has such a cool name to it, you know. But I wasn't digging it.
All right.
Yeah.
You don't like Big C, Big H?
No.
I don't know what that means, but that's the first line of the song.
It's pretty no. I don't.
All right.
Coke and heroin, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
1985, you know. Okay, so my least favorite song on the album is one that's been mentioned already, called Scorpio Rising. And I think it's less egregious than Hell's 8 Acres, but I agree with you when it's like, okay, it's the first instance of the album where I'm like, oh, there's just like a little
Drop
there's like
in
a
energy.
little dip here.
Yeah.
You know? And not to say that it's a wash. Like there's things I really like about it. Like I wouldn't call it a guitar solo, but whatever, there's a part in the song where it's just like squealing.
Yeah.
And it's some of the dirtiest, nastiest shit I've ever
It's
heard.
the leads he's doing. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, this is like totally 90s, but like in 1985.
Yeah.
And I like the opening.
Like strangling the guitar. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And I like the opening line, you know, the Greek, the gypsy, the Italian, and they all took a look around.
It's like a joke. It's like a very of its time joke, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very of its time. Yeah. One of those words we don't use anymore. But anyways, yeah. I don't know. That one kind of, I could do without that song.
I feel you. I feel you.
Well, I mean, let's turn that frown upside down and let's go with the tops. I'll start it off.
Sure.
So for me, my third top song was Scorpio Rising. For me, I feel like I really dug what they were doing musically. I think it kind of, it was a dip, but I think it was kind of like a nice segue in the energy of the record. I think some of the guitar aesthetics won me over, and there's just this like lushness about it that I really loved. You know, I've always chased that kind of sound.
Yeah.
And I just the idea of like the title I thought was really strong, Scorpio Rising.
I don't really know what that means, but
Well, there's people that get into that. They're like, oh, I'm a this, but you know, this rising or, you know, the moon, whatever. I don't pretend to know about that stuff. I know people that talk about that they say that has a big influence on your personality and on fate and stuff like that. So
what zodiac sign are you?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
You're a Taurus, right?
I'm not a Pisces. No, I'm a Taurus. And I get along with Pisces really well, man.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Pisces and we're pretty close. Yeah, dude, I'm a Taurus, so I don't even like my own sign. I don't get along with other Taurus.
No?
But my daughter's a Taurus, though, man. So,
Oh, man.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
And you know what, dude? Fuck yeah. I've never met a Sagittarius that I don't like.
That's cool.
Marcelo's a Sagittarius.
Sagittarius, right.
That makes
Fernando
sense,
is
you know?
too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know how to party.
Yeah.
Sagittarius is pretty cool.
You know, pop open the soda pop, you know? Let's celebrate. Going to Chuck E. Cheese.
You know, it's funny. I'm sorry, dude. The title, I wrote it down as Scorpion King. I don't know why.
Because of the rock.
I think I was watching that rock movie.
The rock
I'm like,
movie,
this sucks, man. That's why I don't
Scorpion
like
King.
the song. Because Scorpion.
Scorpio King.
And then driving over here, I realized it's Scorpion Rising.
Scorpio Rising, yeah.
Not the rock Scorpion.
I mean, that movie was okay, though, right?
No, it wasn't. I'm not going to lie. No, it was not.
What about the terrible CGI in the Rick O'Connell movie?
Oh, right. That movie starring Rick O'Connell.
Yeah.
The world traveler, you know, lives to the beat of his own drum. That Rick O'Connell.
His own drum, yep.
You know,
I don't know that actor.
the Mummy. That's the main guy.
Oh,
Brandon Fraser.
Yeah.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah, as portrayed Rick O'Connell as portrayed by Brandon Fraser.
He's a good actor. I like him.
Yeah.
Encino Man.
That's right.
Yeah.
George of the Jungle.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Dudley Do Right.
The
yeah.
Whale.
The Whale. Yeah,
Whale?
it's a big comeback.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice tangent there. Yeah. So what's your third in the tops?
Oh man, Vive Le Rock.
Nice.
I love that song, man. I think it was a great opener for me because this is my first introduction to Adam Ant. So I thought this would have been the first single, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like it's something out of the Broadway musical that you could like snap your fingers to, jump out of a car. And then the whole like, look, Mom, I'm on top of the world.
Your approach reminded me of this is like obscure, right? If you guys get the reference, cool. If you don't, it's cool. There's like this episode where the Chili Peppers were on The Simpsons. And like Moe's like, yeah, you know, whatever. And then there's like Barney and he has a lighter. He's like, we want Chili Willy. You know what I mean? That's totally what your response kind of reminded me of, you know?
I don't
because you had nothing, you didn't know anything going into this, you know?
Yeah, I didn't.
That's cool.
I didn't. I just heard Mike always talk about Adam Ant and then quote that line. And then it turns out he didn't even like that song, man. So I don't know. I mean, well, it introduced me to this album, so.
Well, and a little context for everybody. Yeah, so I had been mentioning Adam Ant, but it was really actually Zeke who picked this album. And I was incredibly flattered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
So-
you brought it up. You were like, I've been listening to this, right?
Yeah.
Specifically. And you're probably thinking, wow, out of all the records, it was the
I know.
one where when things went wrong, basically, right?
I'm so much more interested when an artist has the agency to just do something that's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
That tends to be the album that I like the most, right? So like Metal Machine music, like for Lou Reed to do that is like
Yeah, that's awesome.
so much more interesting than just whatever run of the mill happy guitar rock songs, or you know what I mean. It's like he just decided he's going to go into a wind tunnel with sheets of metal or whatever and just start grinding away.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you like that Neil Young album where he went like all futuristic?
I haven't heard that one yet.
I want to listen to that. I just because you're saying that and you're
Yeah.
right. I think that's very admirable. Like when someone can do that, you know, it's like bold as hell. That's your livelihood you're fucking with, you know, like,
Yeah.
damn, you know, they can cut you off.
Yeah, you could push
or you
away.
could get sued. And he got sued for doing that.
Right.
His record label was like, you sound nothing like, you know, like yourself. He had like the frantic romantic look before there was a frantic romantic.
yeah.
And it's like, this is Neil
Really?
Young. Yeah, dude. He like
Wow.
went all like future keyboard with the, you know, the thing, you know, the vocoder.
That's amazing. I had no idea he did that.
I haven't really fully listened to it. I just saw a documentary about it. And I was like, holy shit, I got to check that out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. And he's also the godfather of grunge,
Yeah.
supposedly. And then, he also...
He owns, what is it, American Records?
yeah. And he also boycotted Spotify.
Spotify. Yeah, totally.
After someone else was telling people some bad info about a certain pandemic.
Oh, horse tranquilizers?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Danny DeVito, right? He's all, I got the shot, not the one they were giving you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, man. Sorry, a little off topic. That reminds me. I sent somebody a video or it was a little reel, a little clip.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if it was real or not. Somebody discovered in a McDonald's bathroom. Somebody discovered like there was a hole in the wall, right? And they thought, oh, dude, somebody's putting cameras in the bathroom, right? And they open it up and they find a little shrine to Danny DeVito. Did I send it to you guys? I don't know.
No, dude. Well, I don't understand why you didn't send that
It
to
was
us,
so
man.
odd, dude.
That's
great.
awesome.
They had little cutouts of him in Always Sunny.
Always sunny. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then they had a little statue and they put his face on it and he was just like this. Man. It's, like, it's the oddest thing, man. Danny DeVito.
It's crazy that Danny DeVito's had such a comeback
Yeah.
because of that show.
He's like relevant to a whole new generation, right?
Yeah.
Like his heyday was, you could have said Taxi was his heyday, right? Or Twins,
Right.
or, you know, what was the other one with their Junior?
Right.
Right? He's reinvented himself so many times. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Jack the Bear. I don't know if
Jack
you
the
guys-
Bear. Dude, I remember Jack the
Remember
Bear.
that movie?
Yeah.
Man? Oh, that was a sad movie.
That was hella sad.
Yeah.
Damn, man, why'd you have to bring that up?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
I know why, man.
I watched Matilda the other day.
Oh, he was getting that.
Slaps. That movie
Yeah, it
slaps.
slaps.
Yeah.
A really dark movie for kids,
Yeah.
but it's good stuff, man.
It's great stuff.
So I think that brings us to you.
Yeah. So
Your
my
number 3 of the tops.
this was hard for me naturally.
Yeah.
And I think it alternated a bit over the last week when I was listening to these, but even though I've heard it a million times, right? My number 3 is Apollo 9. And I remember being in Borders probably back when they had those music
Listen booths, yeah.
music listening booths.
Scan it, yeah.
And I had only heard very little about Adamant, but they had one of those like, Adamant Essential best
of, yeah, the greatest hits,
right?
basically, yeah.
So I scan it, I start listening to whatever 30 seconds of some songs, and I think what put me over the edge was that song. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. This is like at the time, this is like the craziest song I've ever heard, right? Yeah. So that's what kind of made me an Adamant fan initially. It was like, oh yeah, okay, so he did Goody Two Shoes. Okay, everybody knows that one. And like, but this song is like nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't, it's such a vibe, right? It's like when you're listening to the song Apollo 9, it's like really stressful. Like it's really stressful singing that song. It's like you're on a carnival ride. It's like you're on a carousel that's going way too fast, and there's just no way off of it until the song ends, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're in some like evil clown tent, and like there's just no way. Anyways, that's my third favorite is Apollo 9.
Cool. I know that was on the bottom of my list, and the only reason I think, like I said, was just the mix. The mix threw me off. Obviously, like you said, it gives you a little bit of anxiety, you know?
Right, yeah.
And that could be intentional. That could be by design, you know?
Yeah.
I think, as an artist, you want music to make people feel something, even if it's uncomfortable, right?
Sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so my second is Razor Keen.
Oh, right
Song
on.
Razor Keen. It was dope. It
Yeah.
was really good. Wasn't a single, right?
No, it should have been.
It should have been a single.
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nice. It wasn't too catchy, but it was good. It was very good.
That chorus, really like it. That chorus really like gets a hold of you,
Right.
Yeah.
And I found myself humming that. Like today, what were we doing? After rehearsal, we were humming "Parasite," which is a song we never play. And it's like, okay, maybe this is going to be pretty cool to do live. I feel that this had the same effect.
It has a really cool guitar riff to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catchy.
Cool. How about you?
For me, it's gonna be Miss Thang.
Miss Thang.
Miss Thang. I think it had really cool lines to it. She was the only one to love him up right, which I didn't really know what it meant. But I'm like, yeah, dude, why not? Just go for it. It has a really good rock and roll feel to it. It feels like a Grease song or a song that should go on an 80s raunchy film. Like I think we talked about
Meatballs. Or what was the other one?
Porky's, right?
Yeah.
It felt that kind of raunch to it, but in a good way. And the wham la ba
Wamba Bop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was really catchy. Yeah.
I just like the piano part.
It reminds me a little bit of like Muppet Babies, right? The little intro.
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about where he's like, have you ever seen a man jump a piano? And it just goes, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
So you can tell he had a lot of fun making that song.
Yeah, the Wamba Baluba. That's what reminds me of Muppet Babies a little bit,
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of nonsense words on this album.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Muppet Babies. I remember Little Animal. He used to play the drums.
Drums, yeah.
If you were to take this album and Cocteau Twins, Heaven or Las Vegas, and just do a double feature of just nonsense noises instead of actual words, there you go.
Yeah. It's funny. That came up on my Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, right on.
A lot of the stuff we've been doing came up on my Spotify Wrapped. I'm like, that's so cool, man. That this podcast influenced that,
Yeah.
It expanded my, it wasn't just like Korn and like whatever single we put out that month.
Right. It's not all just Frantic Romantic.
Yeah.
That happens to me every year. It's like, you listen to a lot of Frantic Romantic.
I got that,
Yeah.
I got a little bit of Demi Lovato up in there, but, less this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to explain why, but...
You don't have to.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you.
I'm
pretty
guessing
odd.
it's because you listened to her.
No, what? No. Next question.
Bella would be happy.
See what?
So my second favorite. Sorry, were you?
Oh yeah,
You're all set?
Wa
done.
la balumba.
Yeah.
My second favorite, and here's the thing, okay? Again, this was tough, and I'll explain after maybe I say these three, but POE. POE. Now, that is basically the closing track to
Yeah.
the album. There's some acapella shit,
yeah.
but that I don't count that.
The reprise, and then the one I heard had a whole bunch of extra unreleased tracks.
Right, yeah.
I didn't go into that. Is it worth delving into?
I never bothered listening to that stuff.
Yeah, I try
I
to
want
keep
to just
it out.
get the
yeah.
regular shit, that the vision. I want the vision.
But POE is like this, basically just, it's like a vertical slice of 1985. It's basically, hey, Cold War, hey, we're Americans and we're obsessed with guns and like blowing shit up. And like, you know, there's even a part of the song towards the end where he's quoting, I forget if it's Platoon or if it's Full Metal Jacket or if it's Apocalypse Now. It's one of those where he's just naming off a bunch of like weapons and explosions and shits that he has, right?
And it's again like, you know, a British person making fun of Americans, right?
It's like
Yeah.
probably the most I've ever heard is like,
Yeah.
here's this British guy just making fun of Americans like to the max.
Yeah.
Damn your riots, Mr. Khrushchev. Don't go dropping bombs over here. If you start dropping bombs over here, then we're going to have to drop some bombs over there.
Simon Phillips is like, this motherfucker's spitting. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's in a lot of ways, this album really is like 80s excess incarnate, but I felt like that song was sort of the button, like, right, you know, so the cherry on the top of on the top of the cake. Just here, we're closing the album off with just this big fuck you, like,
Yeah.
So
That's cool. That's cool because at that time it was like winning, right? America was always winning. You know, it was at the top of the game.
Right.
So for someone to do that, that's awesome. That's not popular opinion at the time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, my top of the tops, number one was Hell's 8 Acres. I mean, musically, they did some cool shit in that.
They
did
do.
some really cool shit. I
Yeah.
know they did log into that thing, and I feel like I don't know why exactly. Maybe it's got like this hypnotic vibe about the repetitive thing.
It's a cool song though.
Yeah, totally. Which is funny because it's like I think I have like a whole different perspective of this album.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of our stuff's like opposite spectrum. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I think that's cool.
And again, like that song, like, it really fucking, it sonically, it's like really, there's some cool shit going on in there. The guitar work again is like just amazing.
Yeah.
There was a, the solo in there, I remember being like really
Cool.
Really
it's very
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Razor King would be my top
Great
top
song.
of the top. The guitar riff already, like, just a few riffs in the beginning already like made me fall in love with the song, man. So, like you said, it wasn't a single, right? That really surprises me.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like drive-ins and pompadours. So, it definitely made me want more songs on the album like that. So when Scorpion King came around, when Scorpion Rising came around, I was like, yeah. But yeah, Razor King.
Yeah. Same here, actually. Favorite song on the album. And I remember, hearing for that song for the first time, and it just kind of blew me away. My go-to for this album, for my top three, would have been Miss Thing, Razor King, and was it Rip Down or whatever? Rip Down. Rip Down, that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I really love those songs, but I wanted to pick things that were a bit more like what it says about the album, right?
Yeah.
But I really agree. Like Razor Keen should have been a hit. I don't know why it just got immediately buried and like not used for anything.
I think maybe because what's it called? Vive Le Rock didn't do as well as they wanted it to. It didn't chart as well, and sometimes that'll influence what the budget looks like, or they go over budget ahead of time. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's crazy to think it didn't do so well though.
Oh yeah, it bombed horribly.
Yeah.
Again, he was kicked off his label.
Wow, man.
Yeah, which is nuts. Yeah.
I've heard like A&R people say, we're going to be best friends until we're not,
No, man.
Once he stopped making us money, we're not going to be best friends,
Yeah. And then, of course, what we do always is I try to find a low score of the album online, which is frightfully easy to do. And then we see if we agree with it.
Yeah.
Right?
We usually don't, but let's see.
We usually don't. This one was actually hard to find any reviews for because it's a crazy unpopular album.
Yeah, it's a little obscure, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I was able to find one from All Music. It was a 40 out of 100. It says, Adam Ant adopted a 50s style rock and roll sound for his third solo album, achieving a pastiche with some of the effervescence, but none of the definition or popularity of Elton John's Crocodile Rock. Producer Tony Visconti tried to give him some of the plastic rock legitimacy of Ziggy Stardust era David Bowie, but Ant was even goofier, and especially with his vocals smothered in harmony and echo and buried in the mix. He wasn't so much transformed into a He wasn't so much transformed into a rocker mank as rendered anonymous on his own record. The best track was the year-old UK Top 40 hit Apollo 9, which had some of the manic energy of the Adam and the Ants hits. If the rest of the album had recreated its dizzy spirit, Ant might have made the comeback he needed with Vive Le Rock. Or maybe not. It's possible that his moment simply had passed. In any case, the album flopped on both sides of the Atlantic. Ant was dropped by his record label, and he didn't make another album for more than 4 years. And that's it.
That wasn't too scathing, man. That wasn't.
No.
And this sounds like it's somebody who like knows the history, knows the catalog.
Right. Yeah. This was, I wasn't able to find any user reviews.
Yeah.
And actually, I was able to find user reviews, but they were mainly favorable. A lot of the user reviews were like, hey, this aged pretty well. Right. Which I kind of think too.
Yeah.
But
it's funny, people are like trying to get this kind of sound now, this many years later.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely aged well.
Yeah. Well, cool. I think that's probably it for Adam Ant's Vive Le Rock, the 1985 bomb. We'd like to know what you think of Vive Le Rock. What are your top 3 and your bottom 3 tracks? Please leave those comments in the comments section. We will see you soon. And yeah, check out our website for upcoming news. Always, we are going to be playing a venue near you soon.
Soon enough.
Very soon.
All right. You may find more information about the band Frantic Romantic by visiting franticromanticmusic.com, as well as our social media platforms. We're always posting information about concerts, new music, and more. So please visit us, reach out to us. Let us know if there's any albums you'd love for us to review. Until next time, this has been Let's Get Critical.